Well, here we go. I've been looking forward to getting this video together. I'm moving to a new platform for social media. And honestly, I couldn't be more excited for myself, for all my clients, all my students, and just the growing number of people that I interact with. This is going to be a short introduction. And for you to get the bigger picture, that I will be giving and sending out directions for most everybody I interact with as to how to get involved with this. So what you're looking at right now is what is called my hub. The name of the hub is A Lifetime of Learning, and it's part of the iHub app organization. Okay, so let me give you a capsule summary of why I'm doing this. A couple of very, very important reasons, some of which I'm sure many of you have struggled with. How many times have you been on your computer and have seen a notification come up from a client, somebody along those lines that you interact with fairly often and fairly importantly, and you go back and you can't find which social media app the message came in on? Was it Facebook messaging? Was it Messenger? Was it from one of several emails that all of us have, or our website, et cetera, et cetera? I couldn't keep up any longer with this. I'm funneling all of those kinds of communications into this central hub, and you'll see how to communicate with me in that regard. Now, the other important, or maybe even more important, isn't just on a one-to-one communication goal here or approach. It has to do with my interacting with people who've gotten used to reading my social media posts. You will no longer see much of that in Facebook or any of the other social apps. You're going to see them here. So let me walk you through what you do as opposed to explaining it. What you see in front of you right now is the main page for the hub. These are totally tailorable, as you can already tell. By the way, my content is becoming, on a percentage basis, less and less having to do with education and more of other channels of communication or of topic organization. As you see scrolling across the top, these are some of my highlighted channels, in other words, groupings of content. I have chats for my 3 main calculus classes. I have a channel for my story. I have had endless requests to tell my story. How did I get involved in what I'm doing here? How did I get moved out to Arizona? I will talk very minimally right now about that. And to that end, we'll move on and make more postings. But here's how this goes. So what you have to do is to get started. And this video that I'm recording now is what you're going to see up here. You register with the site. You don't see it here because I'm already registered, but you will see a register button in the upper right-hand corner. You click on that. All that does is makes me aware that you are out there. Okay, that's your first step. Second step, subscribing to the channels. How many times do we get newsletters and we read, 5% of the content and throw the rest away? Yeah, that is aggravating to me as much, I'm sure, as it is to you. The whole point of the channels is I define the kinds of things that I develop content for. You pick those channels that you want to hear about, and every week you'll get a summary. You can also, just by getting here, you can go look at other channels even if you didn't subscribe to them. But the whole point here is to not overload people with material that may not be all that interesting to them. Okay, so how do you subscribe to the channels? Well, let's go back a page and let's go to this top pull down. And you'll see a number of links, kind of standard for most websites. But let's go to the top instead. You see the subscribe button. These are the groupings of the different channels. They call them categories. You don't even have to worry about that as to just know where things are. Take your time, go through these. This tells you what kind of content I post about, and this will be very similar to what you've seen through my newsletters and just general postings. Obviously, education and learning is going to be a category, and you see all those. Academic recovery, we could talk for years about that, given the current state of affairs. Standardized exams, et cetera, et cetera. You can read as well as I can, but these are the kinds of categories I will and have been posting on concerning education and learning. Well, here's the about me. One of the teasers I'll throw at you is that, yes, I'm getting prepped to go back to grad school. And I could not be more excited, to be perfectly honest. I finally had to make a decision that I should have made 5 to 10 years ago in regards to this. To finish the teaser, I'm going to be going back to grad school for mathematics. There's a couple other channels that I have started writing about, started writing content for. And my web designer came up with a great title for this one, Meandering Musings, where I would come up with these seemingly off-the-wall topics, which if you know me, you know that that's not hard for me to do. Go to this channel once you register and subscribe to it. The titles kind of tell you everything, but I'm really all over the place in the positive sense about the things that interest me. I actually started a love story here, the I Believe in You. And just different elements here of my life that are important that I need to write about. And honestly, I could not give any stronger advice to you as adults and students. You got something to say and something that interests you, start writing about it. If you don't know how to do that, let's talk. I'd be more than happy to give you as many pointers as you need. Okay, so that's the other group of channels. My story is also the one that has got an increasing number of content, especially about my life. We all have ups and downs. There's a lot of things I'm sure people don't know about me and couldn't imagine in a million years. So I'm going to go back to the subscribe button again here. And there's another category called people. I have a channel for parents and students. Okay, so this is a capsule summary of where I'm headed. I am not going to be spending a lot of time posting, if at all, to the, oh gosh, all the, the Twitter, the Facebook, all the other content buckets that are out there. As a content developer, I'm sure you can also relate to how aggravating it can be to try and get content propagated to multiple platforms. And yeah, I know there are tools for that, but we find that those oftentimes don't work in a way that we would want them to. So this is a capsule summary of what I'm doing. The last thing that I just want to mention is that you can message me here. And this is where I am going to strongly prefer that any kind of messaging outside of personal stuff come here. So once you're registered, you can send me a note and vice versa. And it just keeps my head from exploding over keeping track of who I've talked to, who I've sent something to. As a final example, a lot of times I will be sending recommendations out to students and parents as to where to get some certain kind of backup learning information. It drives me crazy to not know where I've put that and who I've told it to. This will solve that problem. So that's what we're doing. And get registered, send me a note, and I'm just really looking forward. I really am so excited about getting this part of my life in order. And anyway, especially with my grad school and the courses I'm taking now to prepare for that, some of you who were parts and parcel of my previous lifetimes in high school and college math will probably get a chuckle over all the boulders that I am removing and reorganizing again. Anyway, talk to you later. Have a great one.